Welcome back to CrossFit Fury. Kind of updating you on our ongoing rehabilitation progress. Noting where I'm at, on Tuesday I'll finish up my 4th week. I just got back from the doctor for my 2-week checkup. So to kind of talk about first what we went through there, we took out the stitches at my palmaris longus graft, as well as at the surgical incision on the medial elbow. I'll get a little closer. Nice clean line. Swelling still an issue, but we have no signs of infection. Started to do some scar mobilization. Things are going great there. So as far as what's new for me, we took the brace, we increased my range of motion. Now I'm available to keep it moving during the day, which makes me feel really good. The motion makes me feel a lot better. I got guidelines to start pressing the motion. I'm really hoping to get full range of motion back by the end of 5 to 6 weeks. So every day, twice a day, I come out of the brace. I'm working into extension as well as into flexion with some joint mobilizations to help me out along the way, with some help with some great physical therapists, because I shouldn't be mobilizing myself. As well, the doctor said to continue working on my swelling, and I'm getting into some shoulder active range of motion to get back into some rotator cuff strengthening, different degrees of external rotation and elevation with good mechanics. But unless you're week 4 of Tommy John post-op, that's really not going to help you. So let's move on to some things that can kind of be pertinent to you and your injury situation. So we look at me, we'll again use myself as a template and we'll move on from there. We look at the motion that injured me was a full snatch. And I had some time this week to review some videos of me when I feel like I was snatching really, really well and was injury free, and it transitioned into what kind of caused this injury. And we look at my catch position in my videos where I'm doing my best work. I'm upright, that bar is stacked, knees out, wrist over elbow, over shoulders, over hips. And then the video that we posted last week where I get hurt, I have this really chest down, compensating by going into hyperflexion of my shoulder, really putting that valgus stress on the elbow, led to the valgus blowout of my UCL. And so we look back, how are we going to fix that? We've kind of pinpointed it down to 3 areas of focus just for me particularly. We're going to look on thoracic mobility so I can get better extension to be upright to hold a barbell overhead. I want to increase the range of motion in my hip flexors because we know that psoas, iliacus, psoas minor, all have attachments down to the spine, and they'll pull me forward as I try and get to that bottom position if I don't have the right length-tension relationship. And finally, I really think that I can do some good work in improving my gastrocsoleus complex, really help me get into a better knees out position and be upright in the bottom. First thing we're going to do is address that thoracic extension. When we look at the video, what we have is a double lacrosse ball starting at the lower end of the thoracic spine. We're going to go into extension over a firm surface. We're lucky enough to have a large atlas stone to use. You can use a therapy table, you can use just the ground, whatever gets you into a good thoracic extension, and we're using those lacrosse balls as a fulcrum. We're using the PVC pipe to mimic the desired motion of the snatch to kind of drive that fulcrum and help ourselves get a little more extension. We're going to follow that up with a long duration, low load stretch to the gastrocsoleus complex. If we look at, we're getting my feet as close together as is comfortable, and we can look for 2 points of performance. When I'm in this stretch, I have to keep the heels flat and the chest up. If I get my feet too close together and my chest starts to droop, that might be too much for me right now. I'll take my feet a little further out, still feeling the good stretch, and our progress will be to bring the feet together and get a better stretch in the calf area. Finally, looking at improving our hip flexor range of motion, we really like this stretch because when we have that front leg up, it stabilizes the pelvis. We use our partner to stabilize and bring us into bring our knee into gentle flexion, which really puts those one joint hip flexors on stretch. And finally, we come up into some more thoracic extension, really getting all the length we can out of those hip flexors. Remember, be gentle, respect pain, and always take turns because it's the only way to keep things safe. Finally, now that we've really done that, we're focusing on my rehab, I'm fighting swelling, I'm working on the pieces of my body that put me into these bad positions. Now I got to do the things that are going to keep me motivated, keep me having fun. We're going to talk about realistic goal setting while you're injured. I look at another big thing this week. I was cleared for light jogging. which really makes me happy because I never felt that I was a great runner. And this is a really good single arm snatches, running efficiency. Some extremely light running in a shuttle format. We look at the one arm snatches. That's giving me the neurological input to hopefully stay fast, stay explosive, be a good Olympic lifter while not putting myself at risk. And we look at the extremely light running. It gives me a chance to, where I'm not under duress, think about things on working on form. And earlier in the day, I did some running drills to help me with my forward lean, thinking about the cycle of my feet, midfoot striking, all things that are going to keep me injury-free in my running in the long run. So that's something that's going to be one of my big-time goals as I'm allowed to start running at more and more intensity, that hopefully now I take this step back and really become a better, more fluid runner. As well as my second goal is more performance-based. I always feel that I'm an athlete who had a hard time with core stabilization, and especially my nemesis, the GHD. So I've got two things that I'm going to do. I'm going to work on my hollow rocking, hollow rolling, because that's going to help me when I get into those jerks and snatches that I can keep those ribs down and in, keep very stabilized, something I know I can improve upon. And any workout with a GHD, I'm taking the butt whooping from Peter, Amy, Alfred, the list goes on, and I'm sick of it. It's something that I can do safely. My goal, I want to be able to do 50 unbroken as fast as I can. I'm going to time that this week. And we're going to keep testing and retesting it throughout, because we look at that motion for me, I can hold the arm, I can keep it safe, I'm not putting it under any strain or any risk for fall or injury, but it's something that's really going to benefit me, A, as an athlete, and B, as a person, because now I'm chasing down those goals, I'm staying active in my recovery. So, I think we'll check in about 2 more weeks when I really hope to whip the brace off on camera, show you a full elbow flexion, elbow extension. That's my big goal. And just remember, guys, I'm a huge believer in positive mental outlook. Whatever good energy you put into your recovery, you're going to get back tenfold. So stay positive, analyze what caused you to get injured, and try and alleviate it, and let's make some big goals. We'll see you soon at CrossFit Fury.